Welcome everybody to the webinar on See What's New on Qualifio. And today the guest presenters are Alejandra.
Yeah, so thanks for joining everyone. I'm Alejandra and I'm a part of the education team at Qualifio. And then
And
we have Olivier, of course.
yes, I'm Olivier, VP Product at Qualifio. If you are familiar with the product webinar, you've seen my face a few times. If you are familiar with any other webinar held by Qualifio, you will be familiar with Alejandra's face. All right, let's go. Today on the agenda, we have, what we are doing, and then we'll be divided in two big parts. Well, look in the mirror of what we've done in the last couple of months since we last talked at the last webinar in November, and what is coming up next. So a quick view on some of the items. There are still stuff which is cooking, and we will not explain every single step for the next coming months, but still we'll explain you what is coming for the next few weeks and months, and then of course a chance for you to ask any question you have ever dreamt of asking Alejandro or myself here. So there is, and that's part here. There is a Q&A or a chat box, so please use mostly the Q&A for the questions, and we'll go through each and every one of them. We will either during the webinar, if it's relevant, or at the end of it, go through all the questions. And feel free to react, of course, on what we say on the chat. And we will, this session is being recorded. We will send it over together with the slides. You see, sometimes there will be some read more call to actions in the slide. That's just for you to be able to click them through afterwards if you want. Let's go in really the core of the presentation. And maybe the first part is, of course, linked to what you have likely seen in January this year. So we've joined the IBEXA family. So basically, before we were part of the Quantum family. Quantum was a company who was encompassing several companies. And now we've really regrouped in terms of branding. So we are still the same companies, but we are all under the IBEXA brand. So IBEXA was originally DXP, which has been renamed as product to Cohesivo. And there are now 5 parts of the family. So Cohesivo for the headless CMS DXP, Raptor for the CDP, Qualifio, which you all know here for data collection and engagement, Quabble for the PIM and the TAM, and Actito for marketing automation. And now, what does it mean being part of the same family? It means that we are really working towards making the Europe orchestration platform for marketeers. So we are a group of products which are really focused on helping marketeers achieve their goals throughout all their career, I would say, on different aspects of what they need to do. So these are really complementary products who are working better and better all together and with each other. And on top of it, we are really working on the orchestration part. And you'll have some details about how we want to explain it, maybe in person, if you have the chance, at the end of the session. But what is this orchestration part? We have today 5 different products working very well vertically, independently, being very successful in what they do in their verticals. But we want to make sure that it is easy for one marketeer to achieve their goal using all these different products together. So, of course, when a marketer discusses and has a mission to make a marketing campaign, it's not just a Qualifio campaign. It's not just an emailing campaign. It's the sum of what they will reach in different products, which will make a marketing campaign successful. And our aim as Europe company here is to make that easy for marketeers and the European way. Meaning, of course, in respect with all the European regulation and being in control and trusting what you will be doing. So we are working very hard on top of what we do for each of the product individually to add this common layer of orchestration, and that will be leveraging a lot artificial intelligence in order to do so. But maybe more on that a bit later through this presentation, even though we'll be fully focused on Qualifio. So that was the intro part, I would say. Yeah, no, there was a little slide. Of course, what does this mean? I've covered it in part, but what does it mean for you? We are still working on Qualifio. You still have your Qualifio platform. You still have your campaign, your programs, your contracts, your product updates like this one, your support, which you can use. And what will be improving over time, it's really better, stronger capabilities in terms of integration, easier way to do activation, more visibility on the road mapping on the 5 different products, and really the European Foundation, which I stated, GDPR, privacy, and of course, trust, which is built in, I would say, from all 5 different solutions. Now, let's focus back on Qualifio and see what we've been building in the last few months. Possibly you have seen some of it already, hopefully, but it's good to stop for a moment and recap the last few features.
Perfect. So we're going to start with what's new on Qualifio. And the first feature that we have is drawing winners by answers. So as you already know, our winner management tool already allows you to select winners using different types of filters. But now with this new feature, you can also pick winners based on how participants answer to a specific question within the campaign. And to use this functionality, you need to include quiz questions with a closed set of possible answers. So let's imagine, for example, that you have 3 different stores in 3 different cities. So you're going to ask participants during the campaign, which store do they visit the most often? With this new option, then you can select the winners based on those answers. And this makes it much easier for you to reward participants from a specific location. So you can reward users based that visit, for example, a specific shop more than others. And this feature in general just allows you to distribute prices more fairly, well, across different stores. Then we have cross-campaign prices. And here with this new feature, you can create multiple campaigns within the same Qualifio account and link them together to share a single set of prices. So, and as participants start winning prizes across the different linked campaigns, the prices are deducted automatically from the same price pool until they run out. So this is specifically useful in scenarios where you're running the same campaigns in different languages or markets. So you can keep each campaign separate, but still manage the prices centrally. So just with one set, but with different campaigns. This can be very useful as well if you have, for example, follow-up campaigns. If you want to continue distributing prices that were left out or didn't run out, then you can link 2 campaigns together and still use the same set of prices. So you don't need to start everything from scratch. It's important to note that this feature is currently available only for instant win formats, which include the instant win, the Wheel of Fortune, and the jackpot formats. And another nice advantage is that you can manage price translations directly within the same price set. So the different languages will appear once you're setting up the prices, and then, yeah, you can just translate everything from there.
And it's useful for different markets, different languages. But you could also say, okay, I'm having this campaign for 3 weeks of instant win, and every day it will be a wheel of fortune, a jackpot, a simple instant win, or maybe Qualifio will release a new instant win format in the next few weeks and months. We never know. And you can switch that with the same price pools if you want to a bit engage a bit more and give more exciting experiences to your customers.
Perfect. So now we move forward to the cross-account campaign duplication that we know that can be very useful for many of you that manage multiple Qualifio accounts across different brands or business units or markets. So all user roles in Qualifio, except from observers, can now cross-duplicate campaigns from one account to the other. So this is very useful because you don't need to maybe tell a super admin with a long list of campaigns that you need to cross-duplicate. So yeah, all users can do it now, except from observers can do it now. And yeah, you don't need to do this process manually step by step or tell someone else. So instead, you can simply duplicate an existing campaign into another account and save, well, a lot of time and reduce manual errors. You can access this option directly from the three-dot menu that you have for each campaign inside the campaign tab. And when duplicated a campaign, you will be asked to which account do you want to translate or duplicate this campaign, to which website this campaign should belong to, and if you want to attach a form or not. So in case that you're having identified campaigns, you can include a form, but it is important to note that the forms themselves do not duplicate. So you need to select it from a form that's already in the destination account during the duplication process.
And if you remember correctly, a few months back, we had presented also that you can actually duplicate one form from one campaign to another, but we did not want to bring it forward with the campaign since forms are highly linked to mapping into integration. So there is a high chance this will not work from the start. So these are two different processes which can still be done to industrialize again the production of these campaigns.
Okay, so now we have the new campaign preview. So we have improved the overall campaign preview experience with a cleaner and more modern interface that makes testing your campaigns much easier before going live. So before, when you were in the preview, every time that you change, um, for example, if you were checking the desktop preview and then tablet and mobile, it would always relaunch. So now it just resizes. The campaign doesn't start from scratch. And one of the new additions as well is a toggle button that lets you preview your campaign with accessibility features. So it just makes it easier to test and validate the experience from both perspectives. We've also improved the preview sharing functionality. So now it's more secure. You can share a link with your colleagues or your clients. And by default, the link remains only active for 7 days. But and then it expires. But in case that you want to create links that don't expire, a super admin user can actually create links that remain available forever.
Yeah, so it's more secure. Maybe just a quick note, and that will be linked to one of the upcoming feature. This is linked to the overall release of accessibility formats. So not everybody is seeing that yet, but more on that in just one slide or two.
I mean, thank you. And then we have phone number verification via SMS. So if collecting verified phone numbers, it's important for you and for your data collection strategy. We now offer this feature that helps you ensure that the numbers submitted actually belong to real participants. So the participants will need to enter their phone number within the form. Then, before completing the participation, they will receive a one-time code that they will receive via SMS. And then the participation is only complete if the code provided, well, it's validated. Here, it's important for you to know that the SMS itself gets sent by a third-party provider of your choice. So Qualifio is not the one sending the SMS, the codes via SMS. And that this feature is available as an add-on to your license. So if you're interested in getting it, you can reach out directly to your account manager for more information. And here we want to ask you a quick question about this feature. So we want to know maybe if you have noticed how often do you receive, in case that you collect phone numbers, how often do you receive, well, fake phone numbers? Um, so yeah, I can see that yes, occasionally you do get fake numbers. So this can be a very useful feature for you to use in your next campaigns.
Having just a few more seconds for people to answer. And all right, let's close it. Thank you. So indeed, either some of you don't collect phone number, which is totally fine. Either some see occasionally these kind of issues. So if we continue,
Yes, we're introducing a new game in our catalog, which is The Runner. And some of you already may already know this format because our studio team was creating this game maybe for some of you in the past, like as a custom or by request. But now it's officially available directly in the Qualifio catalog. And in this game, the participants run, can jump, they slide and dive, avoiding obstacles and collecting bonus points. This format includes different difficulty levels, as well as two mode games, which are the life mode and the time mode game. And within the game editor, once you're creating this game, you can of course customize the background, the character, the obstacles, the bonuses or the malus points, and the music. So it's fully customizable. And this format is included also as an add-on, as an advanced format to your license. But just as a reminder, these type of games are a great way to bring more dynamism and engagement to your campaigns because they help you increase the time that your participants spend on your digital environments. And now, as Olivier was saying before, we have some accessibility updates linked to what we mentioned before for the preview. So first of all, mini sites are now accessible by default. And we have the toggle button that a toggle button once you're creating the campaign which has all accessibility related features. So once you're creating your campaign, you will see this toggle button there, and you will also see a red button or indicator showing you the features within the campaign that are not fully accessible. So in this way, you can really identify them and decide, well, which elements you want to use or not, depending on your accessibility requirements or needs. And here it's also important to mention that we're now in the beta. So if you want to expand if we can expand, sorry, well, the scope to any customers that are interested in test trying it out. So yeah, you might not see it directly there because we're just testing it before. But then for the formats that you see on the screen, like the smash it, slice it, repeat it, and obstacle run, we have built some features that support well assistive technologies like keyboard navigation, the outline colors, and just specifically for the repeated, this format is totally playable with a screen reader. But for the other three, this is not available for the moment.
right, maybe just
Hmm.
a quick context around that, how why we've not made it available all feature and switching all the campaign to accessibility mode. Basically, um, there was so many features on Qualifio, which it was basically impossible to really switch it all onto some really accessible formatting without breaking the current campaign, which is not something you to do. So we have built this new and improved also in terms of technology um, front, so way to generate the campaign, the forms, etc. And this is what is being rolled out. And so today we have already customers who are using it live with their participants on the new front. We are still gathering a bit of feedback, but we are quite confident in what we are doing. The next step will be to roll that out to every account, of course, and which will be able to say, okay, I would like this campaign to run on the new accessible front to make sure it's fully 100% accessible, and at some point ensure that all new campaign will only run on the accessible format, but we still have a bit of steps to do to make sure that all the relevant features are being covered for that. So if you want to make to test it out yourself, and you are not yet in the beta, please reach out. We'll be happy to include you as well.
Perfect. So
Then
now we're moving to the rewards programs for the updates regarding rewards programs. And first of all, you can now schedule portal design changes to go live at a specific date and time. So instead of updating your portal progressively and publishing changes, all of those changes manually, you can now save the updates that you're doing and save a new version of that portal and give it a specific name and then schedule its publication. And of course, if you still decide to make changes, you can do it. And or if you want to cancel the publication, you can do it as well. And this is specifically useful when you create different portal versions or experiences throughout the entire year, to create portals for specific events or dates such as summer or Christmas or Black Friday and more. And this also helps your team, of course, to avoid having to make manual updates, maybe during very busy hours, peak seasons. So this just helps you plan ahead and have the version planified to be launched at a specific time.
it's
And then again, for portals, we have this feature of the dynamic variables. So if you're familiar with what a dynamic variable is in Qualifio, they basically work as information placeholders that allow you to personalize the participant experience throughout Qualifio. So for example, a variable first name will automatically display the actual name of that participant. So now what you can do is bring in this same level of personalization into your rewards program through HTML widgets. And this means that you can create personalized message for each member by displaying information such as their name, the reward program level, the points that they have available, and more. So yeah, this just creates a more personalized and tailored experience for each user. And then, last but not least, we have the prediction game for football and competitions and other sports, of course. But since the World Cup 2026 is coming up, we've introduced this new prediction game format that will allow fans to make predictions throughout the entire tournament. So they can earn points by correctly predicting the match results. And you can either reward them for that or let them accumulate points and then decide a final winner at the end of the competition. The idea behind this format is just to keep the fans engaged throughout major tournaments. As I said before, whether it's the World Cup, whether it's any other football league, or any other sports event that happens throughout the year. And this experience can be fully customized to match your brand, and users will only need to log in once, and then they can just return to participate throughout the entire tournament. And after the World Cup, if you are already a user of the rewards programs, you can create these prediction experiences yourself directly, if it's included within your license.
All right, we've done quite a deep dive in some of the features which we have released. Now let's look ahead a bit in some of the features which are coming up. So the first one is actually quite linked with what we've shown on the prizes being shared. We would like to share something else, which is the limits. So basically, you are holding a campaign in two languages, for instance, and you would like a participant to be able to participate in only one of the two campaigns. Well, this will be possible once we release this possibility to share the limit, making sure that you can participate to one of the two or plus campaigns linked to the same limitation set, so to say. So that's particularly useful for different markets, different languages on the same marketing campaign. To speak about marketing campaign again, I was speaking a bit about a new kind of instant twin format. So we've actually made quite some progress already, but so we will release a new format which will be available to all our customers, not only the advanced format customers. It's the scratch card. So I suppose you understand quite easily how this works. So you will be able to upload a sort of a zone where the participant will be able to scratch with their mouse or their fingers, depending on how they play, and reveal whether they have won or they have lost, and assign directly a prize. So it's another engaging format on similar to what you can do with the jackpot with the Wheel of Fortune, but a different layout, I would say, for this kind of format. And we see that instant win, of course, they convert very well, and manage to reach a lot of audience, and of course customizable as usual in Qualifio here.
Here, Olivier, we have another poll for them. And since, yeah, it's we would like to know maybe how many of you will be interested in using this type of instant win. Okay, we see that in fact it can be very useful for seasonal promotions and for loyalty rewarding as well.
Yeah, well, quite some use cases, but indeed these are the most relevant one for our customers.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thanks for participating. We can move forward.
Yes. We'll end. Don't worry, we'll answer the question afterwards. I see there are a couple of questions coming up, but we'll answer them afterwards. Don't worry. So we'll as part of being in the Ibexa family, we'll roll out a new login page, and we'll follow up also rework navigation. First, we'll start with the login page to release incrementally here, just aligning, making a smooth experience if you are already an Actito user, for instance, so you can really see the logic, and more you will see more conversions in the UX patterns and the looks of our different products. So expect something similar to this, replacing the current, I will not say old, Qualifio login page in the coming weeks and months. We've been talking a bit about AI to begin with. This was not the kind of feature which AI orchestration is about, but this is more what we call tactical AI features. We are working today in replacing our current rich text editor. So, the one that you will see in the welcome or in the exit screens of your campaign, which enables you to type your content, obviously, put them in headings, in a paragraph, add some buttons, etc. That will be fully refreshed with a new and improved experience. And on top of it, we're adding a AI assistant that will help you do spell checks, translation, adapt to specific tone, etc. With, and this is something which is really important to us, uh, making sure that you see what is being changed before accepting. Of course, this is part of the trust which we were mentioning, doing it the European way. So you will see similar experience with what has been removed, what suggested to be removed, and to be added by the AI in this kind of experiences. Now, for the ones using the programs, it was somewhat complex to extract some of the data. Of course, you have the webhooks real time that allows you to update external systems, but sometimes having a full export of the profile base is relevant. And so we are working to make sure that you can use the current exporting capabilities with the same UX, UI, and the same flow that you see in the campaign for the programs as well, making sure that you can use different criteria. And of course, either export that to have a zip and then a CSV file on your computer if that is required by you. We know it's not ideal in terms of GDPR. So, of course, enabling you to export it as CSV file on your SFTP server is something which will be possible from the get-go, as you can do for the campaigns. Now, with the programs as well, we see more and more customers asking for received recognition, making sure that they can link physical to digital worlds. And so we are partnering up with Hashting, a Belgian company as well that is really specialized in this kind of work. And we'll have a specific widget which will enable you to trigger some receipt recognition. Of course, this kind of services is volume based because the more receipt you will have, the more it will cost. That's just the way it works today. It's both a mix of algorithmic AI, but also human verification around the receipts and the rules that you have set up. So that will be something which will be easy to set up in the programs to really make sure that you have this link with the external and the physical world within your programs here. And we know we've been talking about this several times. We are really working on that actively as well. Product recommendation linked to participation. So you answer a couple of questions and then having the right suggestion of products linked to a CSV file, which you would have, or linked to your PIM or to the PIM of the IBEX family, which is called Quabble, directly at the end of the campaigns. So making sure that you provide the relevant products to your participants, and that you don't need to hard code it to every single campaign, but having this centralized and then used by the campaigns, whether the products are changing, the names are changing, the picture is changing, that would be automatically changed within the campaign as well. And then, well, the last slide, it's slightly more technical, but it's one that is actually quite important as well. We are working on expanding what you can do in Qualifio through APIs. So meaning really being able to access most of the Qualifio feature through API. There are several reasons for which we are working on that. One is that we have some customers who would like to be able to, for instance, upload or create campaigns programmatically based on the article they just created. Uh, so that is a use case. Another one which we are highly active on is, of course, to well, work with the agentic orchestration engine, which is part of being created within Ibexa, being able tomorrow, that is due throughout the summer for the first testers, to create a campaign from natural languages, create a form from natural languages. Potentially tomorrow, if you are a Qualifio and Actito customer, uh, create a marketing campaign which includes a scenario of activation, a Qualifio form, and then reactivation or sending an email to thank for the participation through natural languages. So these are really enablers, these APIs, and we can go further in details in case you are quite interested in the topics. Um, but really, these are things that we will also make sure that they are available to our system, but also the rest of the world if you have relevant use cases for that. Speaking of orchestration,
Yes, so now that we've seen what Olivier presented at the beginning about Qualifio being part of Ibexa now, we'd also like to invite you to continue this conversation during what we call a series of events that we call the Ibexa Orchestration Tour. So this summer, we're introducing the Ibexa Orchestration Platform. And these events will bring together marketeers from around Europe. We will discuss, sorry, how we will bring together agentic AI to Qualifio, and then to help you automate, well, your marketing strategies. We'll also have live demos of Ibexa, guest speakers, about marketing, AI, and branding. And of course, that you will also have the opportunity to connect with other marketeers over food and drinks. You can sign up for free via the link that you will find down below on this slide. And of course, you will receive these slides after the webinar later on. So yeah, we're just handing this open invitation to all of you to come and learn more about well, the Ibexa family, which Qualifio is part of now.
yes. Now let's dive into the Q&As. If we take the first one was a show of appreciation, I would say, from Eric on the expiring preview link. So indeed, this was something which we wanted to work on for a while, and we had the opportunity here. So this is what we have managed to work on that. Next one. Do you want to read it out loud, Alejandra? And then
Yes. So, does the new preview functionality allow you to preview later pages in your campaign, like the exit page, without having to physically navigate through the full campaign? Not yet.
so indeed, this is something we would have liked. Yet it was quite well, too much additional work, I would say, from the initial goal. So unfortunately, this is not part of what is possible here. The scratch card is looking great. When is it going to be live? That's a fair question. We are aiming somewhere in June to release the scratch card, the first version of it at least. So that's quite soon. Next one.
So we have, can you make the customers paid with points for the scratch card?
there are two ways to answer this. The first one is if you are using the Qualifio loyalty platform, reward programs platform, of course, this is built in. You can say that you can participate in a specific campaign against 25 points only if you are level premium and whatever other criteria. This is one part. The second part, depending on your usage of Qualifio, is if you are, for instance, being able to trigger that from another system and then using our secure token. And I'm not sure if you are part of these user SIS. I'm not sure which account you are from. So I would suggest you connect with, if that is the case, you have been working together with the solution architect teams. So you can connect back to Elsa, to Alexia, to Charlotte on the topic to see how this can be done. If it's done actually for the Wheel of Fortune and jackpot, that will be the case as well for the scratch card. So I don't know if it's in that scope, but otherwise feel free to reach out with an email with specific details, and we'll dive into it.
We have another one. Is there any control to avoid a user doing multiple redemption? We're not sure, Dan, for which specific feature are you talking about here? With
Yeah, so basically, if you are speaking about the programs and making sure that you can redeem only once, this is part built in as well. You can say that the user can take a specific reward only once, or once per 24 hours, or per 7 days, or many other options. If you are talking more about the campaigns linked to the scratch card, which is possibility here, you have the possibility either to let anyone win as many times as they can, or once per user and not more. So per email address, or not more. So that's depending on your use case, that will be the answer, I would say.
So the next one is tracking changes also mean there is a history available of all changes made?
I'm not sure about the tracking changes this relates to, if it's publication one. So not yet, to be fully transparent. This is also something when we are working or reworking a specific feature, we do add the audit logs to this kind of changes. But today, not the I cannot claim that all changes are being tracked or that there is a history of it.
Next one, instead of SMS verification, it's possible to use WhatsApp, maybe in the future expansion, because SMS cost is always an issue to business.
Yes. So for the SMS, we are basically not sending the SMSs ourselves. That's part one. We are today integrating with Trilio, but we are open to use other systems to send these kind of SMSs. But tomorrow with WhatsApp is also a possibility. So please reach out to your account manager or to the integration team, depending on who you mostly talk to on these issues, and we'll look into it.
And then the next one is, are you making Qualifio available as an MCP?
Thank you, Eric, for the question. So this is part of what I said. I can go more into details on the technical part. So yes, the aim is to make a MCP server for Qualifio, so that either the orchestration agent of Qualifio could use, or any other system. Of course, the fact that we are part of the Ibexa family does not mean that we are closing ourselves from the rest of the world. Really, that's really the opposite. So that is the case. There will be a MCP server for Qualifio, which we will be able to use should you have use cases for that. And then Georgie would like to have more visibility of example use cases for the more API coverage. So depending on how many technical possibilities you have, I would say, on your end. We have customers who are managing, for instance, their list of opt-ins in another system, and they are synchronizing in Qualifio the list of opt-ins so that they make sure that the copy is always updated. Same goes with the GDPR toolbox. They are integrating it with their CRM so that when they delete a user for GDPR reason, the CRM, it is also deleted if still existing within Qualifio. So these are these needs for, of course, synchronization. Then you can move on to more sophisticated, I would say, systems. So the forms could be, okay, I would like to create X form, make sure that they are mapped with the right variables with my system. And that's something that you can easily do through API. But really the biggest use case is the enabler which pushed us to move forward on that direction is really the AI integration, the MCP servers, as I answered just before, making sure that you could act on Qualifio through any natural language model as long as it is connected through the API and MCP being kind of layer above the API to translate to the LLMs, to say, okay, I would like to create a form with these kind of data being collected, or I would like you to create a full campaign. I would like maybe within the look and feel of Qualifio, I would like to hide this, provide the right CSS. These are all different use cases which could be something you would like to do in the future. That was it for the questions so far. All right. If we we're already 3 minutes out of time, so we quite had some both plenty of stuff to present and a lot of questions, which is always nice. So we are left with thanking you, I believe. Thank you all for joining.
Yes, I just wanted to mention that you will get a pop-up with a survey once we end this webinar, and we will be happy, to get feedback from you about this webinar so we can improve and yeah, we know what we can do better for future webinars and presentations. So thank you all for coming today, and thank you, Olivier, as well, for hosting this webinar.
Thank you, Alejandra. Thank you, everybody. And feel free to contact us to reach out, product@qualifio.com. Any question, remark, ID, we're always glad to read from you. Thank you and bye-bye.
Bye.